In the first part of today's programme, we're bang up to date as Colin spends the night on an Electrostar and I take a peek behind the scenes at Freightliner's Maritime Intermodal Depot. Then it's get out the oxygen as we go up and away on Britain's two mountain railways.
There's a certain amount of snobbery when it comes to train spotting, especially amongst generations. Now, the older generation will tell you that steam was the golden age of railways. Somebody of my generation will say, no, it's diesels, and I'm sure the future generations will say that theirs was the golden era of the railways. Now, I'm here at Brighton today to test the new Electrostars for South Central. Should be here any minute. These Electrostar units were first introduced on C2C routes in Essex, where they drew their power from overhead live wires. The South Central versions have been designed to draw their power from an electrified third rail. Travelling on a brand new train is a bit like making love to a beautiful woman. No, it's not at all, actually. Here we are inside a brand new 375. You can see it's brand new, still has the protection on the handlebars here. The seats are covered with this polythene sheeting and a very nice design they have as well. And it also comes with its very own engineer. Now, Nick Horton is project manager at South Central for new trains. Nick, where are these units being built?
They're being built by Bombardier in Derby.
And how many are they building for you?
They're building 700 cars for us, and that's a mix of 3-car trains like this one and 4-car trains as well.
Now, we're running between Brighton and Eastbourne this afternoon. What exactly are we doing?
Right, this run is part of the handling training for the drivers. All of our staff that are going to work with the trains are being trained in readiness for them. The reason for this is that the train behaves very differently to those that we're replacing. The power systems and the braking systems particularly make the performance far sharper, and so the driver is actually getting experience of what this train feels like on a network that he's used to driving older trains on. These
particular trains have got the sliding doors, they've got air conditioning, they've got CCTV. They also accelerate much faster than the old stock that we will be replacing. What problems have you had as far as current is concerned?
Unlike the old direct current systems, this has got an AC control system. It works on variable voltage and variable frequency, and where current drops away with speed on an old train, on these it is pretty well constant throughout the speed range. This means that the acceleration at high speed particularly is much better, but the demand on the network is far greater.
How fast do these units go then, Nick?
These trains are built to run at 100 miles an hour.
And how much do they cost? Because they look absolutely fantastic inside.
Each coach is about £1 million. For the 700 we're spending £856 million, and for that we're getting the trains, and we're also getting a package of technical support and materials through the life of the trains.
And how long is the life of one of these trains?
I would expect them to be here between 35 and 40 years.
Now, this is Danny Hurtle, he's a driver for South Central. Your first impression of an Electrostar, Danny?
I'm very impressed with the Electrostar. Space age technology compared to what I was used to drive. They're a lot smoother. They've got a lot more technology on them. You've got self-diagnostic system, which helps the driver tremendously.
Now, the 375 unit we've just been on is set to replace these 3-car units that currently run between Seaford and Portsmouth. And later on tonight, we're going to do some night testing on that very train. So here we are, it's fast approaching midnight and the Electrostar is due in any minute, and the last train's just about to leave. Now, a few weeks ago, these trains were teeming with engineers and all their computer software as they were testing the power supply to one of these units to make sure it didn't affect the signalling equipment here on South Central. Now the trains are running between Brighton and Eastbourne to clock up mileage, in fact 1,500 miles without a failure. If there is a failure, then the train either goes back to Derby, to Bombardier, to have a look at it, or one of the engineers comes down here and the clock goes back to zero. South Central don't accept one of these units unless it's done 1,500 miles on the clock. Now, if you've ever wondered what it looks like through the driver's cab at night, this is it, except we've got a night vision camera. Now we're travelling back to Brighton from Eastbourne, and I'm in the rear cab of this particular unit, number 375320. Now these units are about to be fitted with GPS, that's Global Positioning System, which is an amazing piece of technology. It links it to the train's computer, and the train can tell how long a platform is and how many doors the train should open if it's longer than the actual platform itself. It also tells the driver which side the doors should be opened as well. In the cab of a train that isn't even in service yet, and at night, how many points is that worth, eh, Found? Hey!